So we're joined now, Philip Purcell from Emerald Warriors. Philip, you have been involved in setting up an online lotto in your club. Can you explain to us how you went about that and what that was?
Yes, Garrett, of course. So I was I'm the fundraising officer for our club in the Emerald Warriors since last year. So I've joined the committee and I was appointed fundraising officer. So one of my plans as part of my fundraising plan was to create a club lotto to raise kind of much needed money for the club and bringing the club through all the steps involved with that. So that was kind of from everything from getting the lottery license straight through to launching it up at one of our club events in December.
So bring us through that process then. What's the first thing you do if you want to set up a club lotto? Is it the same
Yeah.
if it's offline or online
Well, I suppose the first thing you'd want to do, regardless of whether it's going to be online or offline, is to get a charity lottery license. So, a charity lottery license enables the club to run the lotto, Garrett, and that whether it's online or offline. So, the first step involved in that is getting onto a solicitor. So, a lot of people who have a solicitor involved in the club, they can get the application for the charity lottery license done through the district court. So it takes about 4 weeks to get that license through the district court, Garrett, and that is kind of the most time-consuming part of the whole process. After that, within those 4 weeks, you can set up everything from your graphics to your portal to where you're going to run your online lotto, etc. You know.
And so tell us then, in terms of that, all rugby clubs you think are able to apply for that lotto license? It don't have to be a registered charity or anything like that.
Registered charity to get the charity lottery license. You can be a sports club, a philanthropic society, or a registered charity. So every sports club falls underneath one of those categories. So everyone can make an application to get one of them. Now what we've done on our side, Garrett, in the Emerald Warriors, is we got one of our sponsors to pay for the lottery license. So I mean, if clubs are involved with any sort of an organisation who would be in a position to sponsor that, then it would be a good idea to kind of pursue that, you know.
Great. And then so your sister applies to either the district court or the council for this license.
They apply through the district court, so they notify the district court that you're applying for the license, and it's heard 4 weeks later. 9 times out of 10, unless there's any sort of objection, it is kind of granted to the club to proceed with the lotto.
And then what happens when you proceed? How did you proceed?
So how we proceeded was we had all our graphics designed up within that 4 week period from when we applied to when we got our license. We kind of let all the members know that there was a club lotto on the way and happening. So building up a bit of hype and excitement about that. But then we also contacted the provider that we use, which is Club Force. Now there's many other providers out there, Garrett, but the one particular provider that we use for our lotto is Club Force. So got all of our kind of, I would say, kind of everything in order for that to go live. And once we had our charity lottery license, it was just a case of hitting live and away we go.
And you run this, do people pay up every week, is it? Or they do every week, or you can do,
yes,
how much do you charge? Explain that to us.
With the online lotto and say with the different providers, you can choose how much you charge to people. So at the moment, we only charge €1 in the Emerald Warriors. Some clubs charge €2, some clubs charge €3. But for us, we just decided to charge €1. Members can sign up to a minimum of 5 draws online, up to a maximum of 52 draws. There's different combinations of how you can go about that. I know some clubs you can do it on the weekly. Some is you can only buy 10 draws at a time. So it's completely up to the club and what the club thinks would suit itself. So that's a kind of a committee decision more so than an individual decision. But for us, we allow people, we have people sign up for a minimum of 5 weeks, a maximum of 52.
And how's it worked for you so far?
So far, so good. We have over 60% of our membership signed up to our online lotto now, which is a huge amount, Garrett. So, and that has resulted in over €3,500 being brought in the last 5 months. So it was launched on the 6th of December. And up until the start of May this year, we brought in €3,500, which was pretty good, considering we just had a target of 7,000 for the year, and we're kind of ahead of that now.
Brilliant. And tell us, what sort of charges then are there, apart from obviously paying out the money if somebody wins? What are the charges that you have with Club Force or that?
Oh, so with the Club Force fee, so they charge us 10% of our lotto sales. So that's 10% of every euro comes in goes to Club Force. Now, there's some providers charge X amount of percent plus a fee for the processing of it. But our agreement with Club Force for our package, say, is 10% of the Lotto sales. So there's no kind of hidden fees or anything like that. But then again, Club Force is the one that worked out for us. There's other providers out there that do provide a lot of service that would work for other clubs as well.
And technically difficult to put on your website and all that, or is that all taken care of by the supplier?
If somebody is at all like tech savvy in a club, then it's just a little what would you say, a little I'm not sure of the kind of technical term, but a little
widget of some sort.
I suppose that's just added into your website. But the biggest one for us, Garrett, is social media and our club newsletter. We put it out twice a week on our social media to get those that are just interested in, say, what the club is doing and like keeping engaged with the club involved. But we also send it out on a monthly newsletter to every member. So they know where it's at, whether it was one, whether it wasn't one. And it's just keeping it at the front of people's minds so they know, oh, we had the Lotto this week, it was on this day, better tune in to see if there's any results or whatever, and just make sure they're signed up to it,
Brilliant. Listen, thanks a million, Philip. That's really super, really helpful. Any other last thoughts or any other learnings or anything else?
The only other thing I would say is like the Club Lotto could develop into so much more. Like at the moment, we're only kind of targeting our members. But say next year in kind of the year 2 of my fundraising plan for the club, we have a plan to hit our sponsors up and kind of grow it in that sense. So it's something you can engage like people's families with, your sponsors families. So there's opportunity to grow everywhere with the Club Lotto. And that would be pretty much it. Is just it's a quite easily managed system.
Brilliant. Okay, Philip, thanks for that. Best of luck with Emerald Warriors, and really appreciate your time this evening.